order for you to hear it, we have to press the record. And once the record is pressed, we have two indicators. One is white and one is red. The red is when it comes to the sound that we are currently being recorded. And this is coming to you live on the Zoom H2essential. I am a very seasoned Zoom product user. I have also the Zoom F1. This is one of my not wireless, it's a wired lavalier recorder, and I have the F3, which is connected directly currently to my computer. And these recorders have served me well, and they have been quite instrumental in the quality of audio that you are now experiencing. On most of my recordings, I normally use the F3 recorder if I'm in studio. If I am doing some distant walking around shots, I will do the F1. For my live streamings, I normally use the Zoom H2essential, this recorder. So since it has been released, I was one of the first persons to actually get this recorder because I was waiting for this recorder. The reason I was waiting for this recorder is due to the fact that I had the previous version, and the previous version served me exceptionally, and I was impressed with the quality and the fidelity of the sound that echoed from the recorder. So I wanted to get the updated version, especially that it has a 32-bit float. And for my style of recording, I tend not to edit, I tend not to do any modification, EQ or anything. I just present it as it is sounding from the recorder. So here in this environment, it's a natural home environment. This is how I normally use the recorder. So this is how we are going to be testing it in this setting. So downstairs there is the machine that is going. Currently my computer is doing some rendering for some videos, so it should be making sounds, so you should be hearing that in the background. Outside, the windows are open, so you can hear the sound that is coming in from the vehicles that are passing on the road. So there should be a lot of ambience and nuances to the sound, so you can understand what it is like to have this recorder. So right now what is happening is that you're hearing all the sounds from the environment. You're hearing upstairs sound because we're elevated on the second story currently. You're hearing downstairs sound, which is on the first floor. You're hearing sounds from outside, and you're hearing sounds from within the room. Plus you're hearing my voice. So I hope that this will give you a good idea and a good indication of the quality that this microphone has to offer. This microphone, I have had it for quite some time, a few months, not a year just yet because it hasn't been released a year just yet, but I've had it for a few months, and during that time it has fallen from my hands, fallen from my children's hands. It has been placed in the mouths, the vocal cavity of some of the children. It has gone through many different scenarios and situations, which in my estimation would be considered to be normal use case. I know that if you have this recorder, you may want to take care of it, but personally for me, I believe that any product that I have, it should just be utilized in the best way possible to give you the best outcome that is desired. So having it in the mouth, having it being falling that there is normal use case for me. I connect it to the computer at times and use it as an audio interface when I'm doing the live streaming session. I also connect it to my mini recorder, which I'm going to allow you to have a listen in a little while. So this recorder is one that I think that you can get if you are serious about starting content creation, or you just want to record your children, you want to record your family, and you don't want to deal with the excessive jacks or the excessive cords. This recorder will serve you well. So when the recorder is in play, it has both the front and the rear. The rear section is indicated by the front microphone. I know that that is what it is saying, but it is not exactly a true reflection of what is happening. It says rear, but that is a front microphone because that there is where the screen is. And the rear, the back, the front is actually the back. So it's all in the reverse. So in this microphone, we have the mono, which is a narrow field of pickup pattern. Then you have the 90-degree, which is a wider field of pickup pattern, and then you have the 180-degree, and you can select from that which is best for you. So when this is recording in both the front and the rear, there is going to be a front recording and a rear recording, and there's also going to be another recording which is a combination of the front and the rear, which would be the mix recording. And this mix recording, if you don't want to do any mixing and you have your audio, you probably were speaking and you probably connected your device to your audio interface, or you connected your device to your output device, whether it is a mini controller or whatever musical instrument, and that was being played. If you just want to output the music section, then that can be outputted because a file comes just for that section. And if you want to put out just your audio, then you can just have your audio. If you want them mixed together, then you have the file already mixed. But if you want to personally do your own mixing, your own EQ, your own balancing, then you can take those individual files and do that accordingly. So I am going to give you an experience to see how we can connect the MIDI controller and also to connect the recorder to the computer so that the sound can come in and you can hear me at the same time. But in order for me to do that, I am going to pause the recording, and then we will have that setup taking place. So let me just find the proper connections, and then we will get that show on the road. So I must let you know that I am not a professional musician, which means that you should not expect to hear professional playing while I am testing out this recorder. And it is just for educational purposes, and so that you can have an idea as to how this recorder can be used and be utilized in your particular workflow. So the MIDI controller that I'm going to be connecting is this one. So this is my Mini Lab 3, and this is a controller that we will be connecting. I'm just going to put it right here so that we can see what's happening. So it is going to be connected right here. So I am going to disconnect this connection because this connection is already live in the computer, and I'm going to connect it to the MIDI controller right here. Then this comes on. I am going to load up my RoadTripja software on the computer, the analog lab V. Alright, so we have it and we're almost live. But in order for us to connect, we have to find the line in section, right? The line in section will be that section. So we're going to first connect this into the computer. Headphone jack, that is done, and then we're going to connect it into this device, and it's going to be going into the line in, and when the line in is connected, it's going to go to the rear section. All right, but before we do that, we're going to pause this recording, and after this recording session is paused, what is going to happen, I'm going to do a connection, and then I'm going to reinitiate the recording sequence. That way you can have everything being transmitted. All right, so before we do the transmission, we're going to go into our software, and we're going to ensure that we indicate to it that we want it to output through the headphone section, because we're connecting to the computer and we're telling the software that it's going to come through the headphone section. So at this time, we're going to pause the recording. Alright, so now we're connected live. So I'm speaking to you from the front, which is the back section, which, as we said, is counterintuitive. So the back section is where we are speaking to you from, right here, because this is the back of the recorder, but that is saying the front right there. So the rear section is where the line in is located. Alright, so in order for me to hear what you are hearing, I'm going to have to also connect my headphone so that I can hear what you are hearing. So let me just get my headphone and get that connected. So the headphone that I'm using is this Audio Technica headphone. It has been serving me for over maybe 10 years actually, since I've been using this headphone, and they have not failed me since. These have fallen on the ground, they have gone through water, and they are still standing strong. So I have two versions. I have the wired version, and I also have the wireless version. So this here is the Bluetooth version. This one is more recent. This one is stripping a little bit, but that is what it is. Alright, so now that we have everything set up, let us see if we can proceed to play on the instrument so that you can experience what it is like. So yes, I am playing, and we are recording both the front and the line in. Alright, so that sounds pretty decent. Remember I told that I was not a practicing musician, but let me see if I can give you some excitement while you are here with us. Let's see if we can get a nice little rhythm and get it going. So this here seems as though it would be very nice or very efficient if we were making a song and we wanted to give indication as to what it is that is happening and how things are taking place as they take place in real life. While having the song being played, we are talking, and we don't have overlapping of our conversation and the song at the same time. That there would be a nice little way to get things out. So this recorder is versatile, as I have shown you. and that there is just a connection from the computer to the mini controller into the recording line in, and then I would have my headphone jack in, which allows me to hear what is coming in, and it is in the recording mode, and it tells me what kind of recording that I need, how wide an area of recording I need. So this is just how one of the ways you can use it. If you have one of those phones that you have a headphone jack on, you can also play your music into it. You can speak on it. If you have conversation that is coming in, like a line that is coming in, you're having a meeting and you want to have, or a podcast and you have someone speaking, you can have that recorded on the device simultaneously. So you can use this as an audio interface as well. We're not going to be using it as an audio interface at this time, because you would have experienced me using it as an audio interface during our recording sessions while we are doing our live streaming. So all in all, this device costs approximately a little bit over $100, which is reasonable. And the reason why I like the company Zoom is because they provide simple devices that the average person can figure out, right? So they don't make the devices complicated. It doesn't have all the technological advancements that could be possible in the device, but it has the necessary technological advancements that are needed in the device. And currently, as of June, this device, the H2essential, is going for $179.99. I think that by November, you should be able to get it at a cheaper rate. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording at this time and then place us back into the stereo mode so that we have both the back and the front and the rear recorded. So now we have the front and the back recording. We disconnected the line in, and now we are able to use. I must bring to your attention that once the line in is connected, you cannot use the rear section, the rear area, to have sound, because that would be used for the line in. So it's only the front section, which is the back side, that would be used for the external sound to be inputted into the device. So we're going to disconnect as well our headphone, because we do no longer need the headphone. And I am just going to go through a few of the specification of this device. So we're going to be running through the fact sheet. So this is a mid-side stereo pickup recorder, both front and rear. And we know that the front is the rear and the rear is the front on this recorder. It has 3 pickup patterns. It has the 120, the 90, and the mono mode. I should let you know that this is a 32-bit float rate system, which means that you don't need to set any input gain. Whatever sound is coming in, you can always adjust it, reduce it, elevate it, increase the decibels as is needed in post-production. So it has a 3.5 millimeter stereo line in, and it also has a 3.5 stereo mini line out, and it can accommodate external mic. So if you had a lavalier mic, so let me see if I can get my lavalier mic connection that I normally use for my F1 and connect it. So if you have a lavalier mic like this, you can use that in the rear section line 1. So let us pause the recording and try it so that you can see it first. So right now the line 1 is connected and we are using this as a recorder. So this recording that you're getting in the line 1 section is from our lavalier mic. Based on the fact that we are speaking so slowly, it means that the sound may be a little bit elevated at this time, so we have to speak a little quieter because the input level on the lavalier mic is higher than that of the recorder itself. Alright, so you may see some inconsistency in the dimension of the recording graphs on the microphone. So that there has proven that your lavalier mic can also be used on this device. Alright, so we're going to pause the recording, change it, and then get back the recording on the way. After we have paused the recording, we indicated that we wanted to get back all systems on deck, and we inputted the rear recording. Alright, so the LCD screen is about 1.3 inches. So this has a built-in mixer volume adjustment, which is right here. So this is the volume adjustment right here. And it has built-in speaker. It has a low-cut filters, and it has some different attachment components. Like right here, you can put your Bluetooth connection. All right. So now that you understand what this mic is about, you can decide if this mic would be in your best interest. And now we have our co-producer who has just awoken from his slumber, and this mic was specially bought for him so that he doesn't have to provoke my mic when I am in the recording studio, so he can have his own mic. But what I'm going to do, I am going to purchase another mic for any of my subscribers who would like to have this mic. I'm going to purchase one more mic in addition to the one that I'm going to be purchasing for our team here. So if you are a subscriber and you have been supporting this platform and you would like us to have this mic mailed out to you, not this one, a brand new one coming directly from one of the authorized dealers and suppliers, then just reach out to us and we'll try to make that possible. As it relates to the memory card, I had a problem initially when I was trying to connect the memory card. The memory card I was using was not being connected, but the one that I showed you initially is the one that seems to have worked. The system says that the micro SDHC and the micro SDXC up to 2 terabytes can be supported on this device, which is a lot if I may say so myself. For most of my devices, Mama, alright, most of my devices, I'm coming. For most of my devices, the memory card just never leaves the device and it never gets full. So this is indeed something that we can consider based on how much you're going to be using the device. So this device, the final word, can record in both stereo and mono. And the recording formats of wave, can be observed at 44.1, 48, and 96 kilohertz, and our favorite is a 32-bit float. All right. Thank you for spending some quality time with us. I hope that this gave you insight, and indeed, this was a blessing to inform you about this product. It's under the radar, but this is a phenomenal product that you may find could fit in your workflow. I'm also going to leave some links in the description so that if you want to pick up one of these products, then you can use the link so that you can get straight to the site. Thank you again and have yourself a great day.